This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, good afternoon and welcome to the ClearLines training session. I am your host, Kipp Cohen. It is Tuesday, the 22nd day of January, 2019. Please do make sure that you keep your microphones off. Stay muted for me. If you have questions, you are welcome to submit those through the chat box in the GoToMeeting player. I now do these training sessions twice a week on Thursdays at Tuesdays and Thursdays at 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Central. It's about an hour-long session. These are recorded and they are posted to the YouTube page for equity-alerts.com. To get to that YouTube page, just go to the equity-alerts website. At the top of any page, you'll see a link for Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Click the YouTube link, and that will take you to our page. You can see I posted last week's session. I think I put the wrong date, though. I don't think. Oh, I did. Last week I did every day. Last week I was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now we're going twice a week. That's right. Those dates are right. This session, I do like to cover the indicator which runs on the Medved platform. So a lot of the training is based around utilizing Medved. Real quick, let me just give you, some of you that are maybe new to the webinar, just a quick review. ClearLines I developed last year due to WiseTrade closing down, and a lot of people really enjoyed the WiseTrade indicator. So I worked with, and he's actually a partner in my Clear Trading Systems company, is a developer that used to work for WiseTrade, and he helped to develop this for me. We pretty much got it as close as we legally could without technically owning the algorithm. And we partnered with Medved Trader, which is a third-party platform provider. They provide platforms for a multitude of brokers. We decided to work with them because of their relationship with Ally Invest, and a lot of the Wise traders were Ally customers, formerly MB Trading customers, and it was just a good fit for us. There are some obvious differences in platforms from the old WiseTrade to the Medved Trader. Medved is more of a traditional technical trading platform, so there is a bit of a learning curve, and that's why I do these sessions now twice a week to assist you guys with any of that, any questions you might have on the system. First question, though, is related to tax purposes. Is there anything on the platform that allows you to capture your trades for tax purposes? So just to clarify, the platform is strictly a intermediary between a broker and you. Okay, so it's a tool that connects to your broker. So for tax purposes, the accounting and all of that is going to come from your broker. They will provide you with a 1099. They will provide you with your all of your trades, basically. Statements, monthly statements, and reporting. you would get that from your broker. A lot of brokers have integration into different tax or different programs for doing your taxes. So what I will tell you is contact your broker and ask them specifically what they have. But like I typically you should get a 1099. You should get some kind of statement, either monthly or an annual statement of all your trades. And you should be able to. There should be something that you should be able to give to your CPA, or if you do your taxes yourself, I would utilize a program that will allow, or tax program that will allow you to import your trades. But most of the brokers are pretty good about giving you that information. But I'm not a CPA, and I don't even do my own. I have a CPA does mine for me, so that's what I would recommend for you. Connie says, I must say that even though I haven't yet used the program, I think I already love the confirmation arrows. Thank you. I have to say they are pretty powerful. That was something that I wanted to do that was different than what we had before. And it definitely clears things for you on the charts. To me, you don't, like in the old Wise Trade, you had the overview screen that had all the time frames, with the different red and green lights. But the reality is you want to see what's going on behind all of that. And that's what the charts do. So by putting the arrow on, it's kind of like giving you the red or green light. And then the more that you get is even a stronger confirmation. Stephen Bilby, who is with us an hour a day on our webinars, Stephen has been focusing on trading S&P futures. And I do want to show you that, because that is something that if you have a broker that provides you with futures access, you can trade that on the software. So like, I know interactive brokers, you can trade stocks, you can trade futures, you can trade Forex. Now with Ally, you can only trade stocks or options. You can't trade futures. You can trade Forex, but it's through their Forex partner, which is I think it's Gain Capital. They're no longer a Forex broker. They're just an introducing broker. TD Ameritrade, who is I primarily trade through TD. They give me quotes. I actually have another broker that I can trade futures with, but I did want to show you. So one of the things Stephen's been doing is he's been using a combination of multiple time frames. And actually, I'm going to go to a different layout to show you that, just so you can see on I'm going to go to my active layout that has multiple time frames on it. This has got the full 8 different time frames, similar to what I used to use on Wise Trade with a long-term, a daily, 21 minute, 15, 8, 5, 2, and 1. And so he's watching in the morning, and he's looking at a when the equity market's open, basically for like multiple lineup of arrows. So you can see like let's see, where was. Well, you can see there was the 21 minute, there was an arrow. Here's a 15 minute. Here's the 10 minute. I'm sorry, the 8. But when he starts getting all these arrows lining up on multiple time frames, he's entering his S&P trade, and I think he got 3 $350 today on his S&P trade. I think that's what he said. I can't remember the exact number, but it definitely, it makes it really clear when you can see, on multiple time frames, you've got the red and green lines pointing down, you've got arrows giving you confirmation. And the arrows, the way we coded this is that when an interval crosses and then completes, so it's got to complete. So the cross has to happen and then it completes. So there's not a false cross. Then it gives you that arrow, because sometimes they'll cross and uncross and cross and uncross and a lot, and it'll change. So it's good to know how much time's left to make sure that your interval is fully completed itself. But it's definitely visually it's great to see that, and very helpful. But thank you. Yeah. I wanted to show you guys today. We had a trade earlier, and I wanted to point it out that just kind of everything lined up. And I'm going to go to a different layout this time. Again, this is the great thing about the software, is that you can pretty much create whatever layout is, let's see. Let me figure out which layout I want to use before I pick. Hold on. I have a lot of layouts. Okay, this is good. 3 chart layout. This will actually be good. No. Yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah. Let me think about this. We'll use this layout. But I'm going to change something here. So in the Medved Trader, there are two chart types. There's a historical chart and there's an intraday chart. Historical chart will only give you monthly, weekly, daily, even quarterly or yearly. You can even create custom frequencies, but the daily is the minimum. So this is the one you use when you're just looking at what the overall trend is, the long, the mid, and the short. You can use a historical chart. So if I don't want to use that, I can close that, and then I can go to let's go to a 15-minute. And actually, I'm just going to create a new chart, same as this one, and then I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to stretch it out. Whoops. And then I'm going to switch it right here under frequency to 15. So I have you'll see I have, actually we'll go 1, 3, and 15. And these are actually the intervals that I use when I trade actively, 1, 3, and 15. I'm actually going to resave this 3 chart layout because I like it like this, 1, 3, 15. Again, if I need a historical chart, I can just right click and go to historical chart, and I can look at the day, week, and month quickly that way if I need it. There's my day, week, month. It depends on personal preference. As an active trader, I don't really care as much about the day, week, and month. If I was obviously swing trading or going to be in for multiple hours, I might be a little more concerned about that, but just for active trading, I'm not as concerned. So I do like to view the candlesticks. I need them because of drawing Fibonacci, And I do want to see where price actually gets to, because remember, the red and green lines are not price charts. They're buying and selling momentum or buying and selling pressure charts. And so sometimes you'll see price go above or below the red and green line because of quick moves. So this basically smooths out that to an extent. But if you need to know where price is moving, which you do need when you're drawing Fibonacci, then you'll need the candlesticks. So I typically draw the first 15-minute. That is my, and I'm gonna remove these real quick, and then I'll show you. So by drawing the first 15-minute, it gives me a range of the day where potentially that may move to. We also like to utilize daily pivots, and which I don't have on here. I do like to also use the volume weighted average price, or VWAP. So we're going to add that indicator to the 3-minute. You can do that by right-clicking on the chart and go to Add Edit Indicators, or you can go to on the chart where it says Main and click Indicators. You can add the indicator there as well. So I added the volume weighted average price. On the 1-minute, I am going to add an indicator as well. I'm going to add the parabolic stop and reverse. It's just something that we like to use to help guide us in staying in potentially longer. So this is it. This is pretty much what I look at every day. Although I look at twice as many. To make it easier for you to see, I put it on one screen of 3 charts, but normally you would see me looking at 2 stocks. So I would have the 3-minute up in this section, and then I'd have off on another window, I'd have my 15, but I figured this makes it easier for you guys. We'll just focus on one stock at a time. So, and let me save this layout again, File, since I've made a couple more changes, save layout, 3 chart layout, yes. Okay, so it's got my indicators, it's got the way I like it, and we're set. So earlier we were looking at Ameren, and there were a couple interesting factors. Let me squeeze this down a little bit. First of all, and I'm going to go to my drawing highlighter, you'll notice that R2 and the 14140 were right next to each other. So 14140 is an institutional Fibonacci level. We had a combination or confluence of the Fibonacci of the first 15 minutes, the 14140, and resistance 2 of the pivot points was where it reached up to and basically touched. All right. It then proceeded to roll backwards. Now I'm going to go to my 1-minute so you can see where that was. Hold on, I got to do something else. Hold on. Oh, where? Okay. Actually, you got to go all the way back here. So here's my 1-minute, and I'm going to pull the 3-minute back a little bit so you can see. And here's my 3-minute. So you'll notice, let me go back to my highlighter, 1-minute gave us an arrow down, and the lines were rolling over. And the 3-minute gave us an arrow down. So we had a stock that hit resistance, hit a big fib level, gave a 1-minute and a 3-minute down arrow. So you had a double confirmation, and that's where we initiated our short trade, which was at $17.91. It was also right around another fib level, the 127. We also, at the time, noticed there were some other factors. So at the time of this entry, we had the volume weighted average price was actually down further. It was down at the 618, which was down here. So volume weighted average price and the 618 gave us our potential price target for this trade. And you can see, so we got short at 1791 and covered the trade at 1741, 50-cent move down. And that was just from following our lines, red and green lines, our arrows, and utilizing pivots, Fibonacci, and our VWAP. Also, at the time of the entry, you'll notice on the VWAP, I'm sorry, the parabolic stop and reverse was above the price. So typically when you've got the parabolic stop and reverse above price, that is an indication, a bearish indication. So we had that in our favor as well. And that did not even shift back. It had a brief, you can see right in here, a brief shift right here, which was before our exit, and our stop was in profit. And then the exit was here based on the VWAP and the 618, and then you'll notice that's when it began to move back higher. So it provided us with a very good exit point utilizing the volume weighted average price, utilizing Fibonacci level, and utilizing our charts. And it's kind of gone range bound since then. It's been trading, yeah, see, it's been trading range bound. So there are, by utilizing the Medved platform, we've gained a lot of, I call it, we've kind of got a little better upper hand now in our trades because of utilizing additional indicators and to help us figure out where we're going, you know, give us targets, keep us in trades a little longer. It's definitely very helpful. But that was a really great one. I know Lindsay just had a trade a little while ago in XPO, very similar scenario. I don't know if I don't think he utilized the fib levels, but let's draw them just to see if there was any significance in the fib levels. I know he was watching I can't remember where I think his entry though was right off of this. Hold on, let me see when. Actually, that was at 1409. So yeah. Actually, that was right in here. So we had this arrow right here. That down arrow and this down arrow. Hold on, let me circle them. I think we had that arrow and he had that arrow. And that's when he got in the trade. And it kind of went sideways. And then it gave another arrow and a second down arrow, and that was the confirmation. And then it came down through the volume weighted average price. So that ended up being another pretty good trade based on, the charts, the arrows, and volume weighted average price. The confirmation on this one was when it broke this fib level right here, this 236. That was kind of the go ahead that it was going to proceed. And then, look, it traveled basically all the way down to the 50% fib. And I'm thinking he exited somewhere around there. Hold on, where did he get out of that trade? 1456. Hold on a second. Well, yeah, he got out right in here. Right in here. Actually, right around where there was an up arrow. So yeah, it was right in here. And you can see where it popped back up. So it came actually all the way down to the 786. So the entry was right as it was sitting on the 236. It went through the 382, the 50, the 618, and then his exit was off of that 786. And he wasn't even looking at the fib levels. So had he been looking at that, probably would have even added some more confirmation. So we've got a pretty powerful system between the clear lines, the arrows that indicator arrows, the other technicals that we use. And it's just a matter of, getting comfortable with a layout that you like. And that's a personal thing. I had this conversation earlier in my in the Equity Alerts program that I honestly, I don't care what indicators you use. I mean, obviously I want you utilizing my indicator, the clear line, but on top of that, what other indicators you add on to it is up to you. Whether you're utilizing I think pivots are good. I think using Fibonacci is good. Have become a big fan of the VWAP. That was because of Lindsay's son, Kevin Perry. He introduced that to us. I like the parabolic stop and reverse. But beyond that, whatever you utilize is up to you. And if you just want to use the lines and you want to turn off everything else, I don't have a problem with that either. It's really up to you as a trader what you work with. We all look at charts and interpret them in our own way based on the way our brains work and how we visually absorb information. I can show you what I think is the perfect indicators, the perfect setups, but your brain might be wired just a little bit different so that what I see, you're not quite seeing. You're not quite getting. And maybe you need to utilize something different, and that's fine. Or if you have been using, Bollinger Bands or certain moving averages that you like, or, Gann or whatever it is, I don't know. Most of these indicators I'm not familiar with. There's tons of them. Darvis box and Keltner channels, cloud, Ichimoku cloud, whatever it is that you like. If it works for you and it improves your probability and your success of a trader, use it. If it helps you. But if it becomes a hindrance and it's contradicting what you're doing, and I think that's why a lot of people liked Wise Trade. because of its simplicity. And I've tried to keep it fairly simple, even though over the years I've added some additional indicators. I still try to keep it simple because it does become analysis paralysis at some point. And if you get too many indicators, your charts are going to get a little too noisy. You're going to miss things. You're going to overanalyze, analysis paralysis. Keep it clean, keep it simple. Find something that consistently works for you. I think what we've got now works pretty well. I think it's pretty accurate. I think it's, there's nothing 100% out there. I can tell you that, because the market's is constantly changing. But I can tell you what we've been using and the strategies we've been trading with over the long haul, and I've been doing this for almost 18 years, they've worked. So if you need to make adjustments, but don't overdo it. All right. Any specific questions right now? Anything that you guys want me to cover on the platform, or anything specific that you guys have a question about? I'd be happy to answer right now. We'll spend a couple minutes, if there's no questions, on building a portfolio or a watch list. I think I want to do that again because I know a lot of you like to create baskets. I for the most part, I use one main watch list, which is my popper dropper watch list. I make changes to it every day. So we'll do that in just a second. Wayne wants to know, how do you add ATR to my charts? So good question. So ATR, you have to add, you know what? I'm going to ask if they can do this. I'm going to ask them if they can add, modify. This would be really great. Okay, right now, if I go to, let's just pick a time frame, add edit indicator, and I go to average true range, which is down here. Okay, it's a lower separate chart, but I'm going to set it on the top chart. Okay, if I double click it, okay, there's going to be some information here. It uses an EMA. I think if you uncheck it, I'm not sure what it uses. I'm not sure if it's an SMA, but if you select that, it's an EMA. But it's for whatever, it is for whatever period you're on. Okay, so if I'm on a 15-minute period, it's going to be a 15-minute. Let me show you. It's going to be a 15-minute ATR. So like right now, the average true range for 15 minutes is 31.6 cents. It's this line down here. Okay. So I'm going to delete that. You'll have to do it to a historical chart, and it has to be on the daily. So you go to your historical chart. So I'm going to put a daily, and then right click, add edit indicators, and go to average true range. Put it on the main chart, click OK. So now I have this line. See this? Let me thicken the line so it's easier to see. So now there's that thick green line. That is and let me change the color because that's kind of, there you go. Now it's a light blue. That blue line is the daily ATR. It changes. So right now on XPO, and it's whatever it is on the far right side. So it's this, hold on, let me circle it. It's this figure right here. So it's $2.67 is the daily ATR on XPO. So one thing I think would be a great idea is, can you the average true range indicator so that it can be for the daily chart. The daily, but can on any time frame. That makes sense. So I think it would be similar to, what is the, let me, similar to the pivot points. Because when you look at pivots, see how they have daily? For the daily, you can do daily, weekly, monthly. I want daily pivots. But I want it to be on any chart, but to give me the daily ATR. In other words, to see the daily average true range on any time frame in any chart. Okay, so I've asked the Medved guys if they can adjust that. That would be great. That would be ideal for us. Good question. Okay, so let's and you want a 10-day. Just put a Keltner channel on a lower time frame. That is the average price of the average true range. Easy. The Keltner? That's not a daily. That's not the daily ATR. We're talking about the daily average true range. That doesn't work. Okay, so I wanted to, oh, market just bounced. Something happened. Wanted to go into creating a new watch list. So for me, I use one main watch list. That is the Popper Dropper watch list. That's what I mainly use. And every morning when I get my new Popper Dropper list, I just go to edit portfolios, and then I copy from my list, and then I paste. So basically, I'm copying from another page. Let me do that real quick. Copy off another list using the highlight and then the copy on my keyboard, on my mouse. And then I go up to here and I highlight, the stocks I want to get rid of. So basically that section is what I'm going to get rid of. I can just hit Control V on my keyboard and that'll paste in the list that I want. Okay. To bring in whatever new list. So I work off of this and then I add and remove stocks every day from it. But I do have other lists that I've been kind of slowly working on. I haven't even really started adding stocks to the transportation, but I have a NASDAQ 100 list. I have a Dow 30 list. Those are the main. The main one is the Popper Dropper watch list. But if you want to create a new one, then all you have to do is go up here to the upper left corner where it says add. This is one way to do it. You can hit the drop down arrow. There's two different types of lists. There's a simple and a watch list. The simple list is basically in a, I guess you call it index format, where you put one after the other and add. You can add symbols. I don't like utilizing this method. You gotta, then you click below, you add another one. I don't like doing this one, okay? I prefer, now the advantage is it gives you a different format, but I like the just standard watch list, which is just a bucket basically where I can copy and paste a group of stocks in. So if I have some old lists of stocks, or I just have a basket of stocks that I really like, Twitter, Facebook, blah blah, whatever I want it to be on there, Amazon, Apple, Baba, XMU, Momo, whatever. You just start typing, all right? And then I name the list. I type it up here, whatever I want the name to be. New watch list. Click OK. So now I've got a drop down here. So here's my new watch list. Now you'll see it's in a different format. So actually, you may not have this drop down. You'll have to go to the show your ribbon and go to view. Under main, you may have to make the change here unless you've right-clicked over it and added it to your quick access toolbar. I would encourage you to do that because it makes it easier if you jump in between different lists. And then under view, there's different formats. So I prefer to use the tile simple 2. That way I can see the last price. I can see if there's a recent news story, I get how much it's up or down, the last trade up or down, the price and percentage, and the time of the last trade or time of sales. And then all I have to do is just click on the symbol and it loads it up for me on my overview charts. So that's the one way you can add a watch list. You can also click on either the dashboard up here, or if you go down to the icons on your taskbar. You'll have one that's the full dashboard that has some additional buttons on it, file and dashboard window sources. From here, you can also create a new portfolio, and you have a choice of either the simple or the watch list. So it's a little different format doing it this way than the way I just did it. You'll type in all your symbols here, and then added them, and then if you want to change the view, you can select a different view. But again, this is another way to create a new watch list. And then you can open them and view them from here as well. Or you can delete them. Now, something important. So you'll notice I have one called indexes. That's what's over here. This is the index list. Actually, I don't know why it says transportation. It's supposed to be indexes. But this one, you can't open two at the same time. So if you have whatever you have over here, you won't be able to open over here. Like I can't come over here now and open indexes. It won't let me. It's going to block me from doing that. You can only open one at a time in one location. All right. You can't have two different at the same time. Are there any questions about watch lists or portfolios? The advantage of creating or using the portfolio format would only be if you have a portfolio of stocks that you own that maybe is with a broker that is not integrated with, like if you had Fidelity or Schwab as your broker and you wanted to track those on your Medved platform, then you'd want to go in and utilize the portfolio format like this, because then you can put in your positions. You know, I have 150 of Apple. I own it for 78.25. And I bought it back in May of 2005, whatever, you know. I own Amazon at 321. No, I have 200 at 321.33. You know, so anyway, you can put in all this information. And you can build your portfolio so that when you go to that, if I go to open that portfolio, and I can go to, again, the dashboard, open a portfolio, and I want to go to my portfolio, then you'll see your positions in here. With what you paid, how many shares when you bought it. Again, it's kind of like the old in Wise Trade. We had the old it's funny. I go blank every time I think about it. It's I forget what we called it. vault, trade vault, the old trade vault. Like in Wise Trade, you could put in a trade vault and put, if you had a trades from a non-integrated broker, you could build your trade vault. You can do the same thing with this. So that's the purpose for it. We've just got a few minutes left. Any other specific questions? Any of you have any very specific questions about the platform, about the clear lines, anything specific about how to utilize this? When adding a broker, you go to, again, to the dashboard, go to settings, go to accounts. You can integrate with multiple brokers, multiple brokerage accounts. So you can see I've got a TD Ameritrade, an Ally Invest for MB Trading, and an Ally Invest account all integrated. Other brokers that integrate include E-Trade, Interactive Brokers. For those of you in Canada, Questrade. They do have a handful of cryptocurrency brokers. I don't mess with cryptos. Robinhood and Tradier, I believe, are also equities, and Rhythmic. Capital gain futures for futures traders. But yeah, you can integrate multiple brokers. How do I shut off the box that floats around with my cursor? So that's also done from the settings. So you again show dashboard. You can also hit, anytime you put your mouse over, if there's a hotkey, it'll tell you, like, see, it says show dashboard F12. So if I hit F12 on my keyboard, it's going to open that. Or if I hit Shift F12, that'll take me to the full dashboard. So there's two types of dashboards. There's the chart dashboard, which doesn't have a couple of the buttons on here, and then there's the full dashboard down on the bottom that includes the file with all of the access, and then you've got dashboard windows and sources. So from here, under settings, under chart, you want to go to general, charts general. Right here where it says show hover price tooltip, you want to make sure that is unselected, unchecked. Also, if you like to draw trend lines on one chart and have it show up on multiple charts, or you like to use Fibonacci on one and make sure it shows up on all the charts, you want to make sure this is unchecked as well. Annotations unique per chart. I think it defaults with that checked. So make sure you have that unchecked. And then click OK. And that should make that window, that pop-up window, go away. There's another one that's annoying that I don't like that you may want to also get rid of, and that is highlight indicator when mouse hovers over. If you do the uncheck this color, okay. See, like if I check color, like it'll see what it does to my lines. It changes the color of the lines. I find that annoying. So if you uncheck color, you can leave thickness, show value, and hand cursor, but if you undo that, see, I don't like the color thing. That's another one. Good questions. What else can I show you? What else can I show you? We just got a few more minutes. You also you can select, in addition to multiple brokers, you can select which broker you want your data to come from. So although I have the ability to get data from multiple brokers, I get my data from TD Ameritrade is my primary choice because, and that's, you'll see right here, TD Ameritrade. Each watch list or portfolio needs to be assigned a broker, as well as where you get your index data needs to be assigned a broker. I like using TD Ameritrade because I get futures quotes from them, which I don't get from Ally. And it seems lately that TD has been a little better than Ally. Ally's had a couple days where they've had a few issues, but personal preference, I'm happy with the data that I'm getting from them. How can you show a daily running high and low? You mean like the day high and low? Like so there is a window under view options called show quotes. View options, show quotes. View options, show quotes. So this will have the bid, the ask, and then you can go in and you can show volume, open, high, and low. So is that the information you're wanting to see? Yeah. You really, I mean, you don't need it on every window. It's kind of a personal preference. I think if you just know where you have it posted, like if you have it in the whatever one window, because what'll happen is, see this other window that pops up? When I scroll across to a chart, this other window pops up, this one right here below it. That's the interval. You'll notice as I scroll across, it's the open, high, low, close, and the volume for each interval. So whatever window I'm on, whichever chart is the one that's going to pop up. This one stays open. I think you only really need one per grouping of charts, because then it starts to get a little too clustery. But again, to get to it on a chart, go to View and Options, and then make sure you have Show Quotes selected. View, Options, and Show Quotes. And then once you have that, click on the little wheel, and you can add and remove different, you know, if you want to add volume, open, high, low. If you want the 52-week high and low, you can add that. I don't think that's really necessary. And then there's also, as you know, there's some other data that you can show, the pace and the candle countdown. That's going to give you these windows up here. The candle countdown will tell you what time frame you're on, 1 minute, and how much time's left in that time frame. This is kind of like the pace is like momentum, kind of similar to this buying and selling. Actually, markets are closed. Look at that. We've kind of bounced back right here at the end of the day. We're going to still end up down 300 points. Good questions. Thank you, Wayne. Did you find it? Still unable. Okay. So on any chart, click view and then go to the options and then click where it says show quotes. And it should open up that little window. Let me know if that works for you. So like if I click it here, it's going to show up now on this window. And then I click the little wheel, and then I can show volume, open, high, low. If I want the 52-week high and low. If I want quote time, then I can move it. View options, show quotes. Did that work for you? That's it. That's all you have to do. Then it should appear on your chart once you've done that. Once you've gone to the top of your chart under view options and show quotes, it should appear on your chart. And then you can click, there's a little wheel, arrow and wheel. If you click on that, then you can select what information you want to show. You're not even getting the box. Oh, you know what, Wayne? When did you last update? You might need to update. I'm sorry. Go here. This could be the issue. Close down your Medved. Go to File and hit Exit. Go to medvedtrader.com. You probably don't have the most recent version. That might be why. And then click where it says download. And then download the right here. Yeah, that may be why you don't have it. You may not even have that. If after that you're still having issues, do me a favor and just give me a send me an email at kip@equity-alerts.com and I'll call you and help you out. All right. For those of you that are not currently subscribing to Clearlines, if you have interest, you can go to our website, equity-alerts.com, and then click on the Clearlines right here. Additional information. There are some nuances about it that do cost additional if you don't have an Ally Invest account. And but if you're interested, you can sign up here. And again, Wayne, if you need my assistance, just let me know and I'll help you out. Part of what you get when you subscribe to Clear Lines is you get access to have me help you obviously get set up initially. I'll call you, take over your computer remotely using TeamViewer, and I'll help you install it and set up one or a couple layouts for you that you like, go through a few of the features, and then obviously you get ongoing support. We do 2 now live training sessions a week. We record them, put them on the YouTube page, and then if you need further assistance, I do provide support in the afternoons for my customers. Always happy to give you a call. Email me first. If you still need help, I'll call you, can take over your desktop and see what's going on, and happy to give you some assistance. But that's it for me today, guys. I appreciate you all tuning in. Have a great afternoon. Again, this session was recorded. It will be posted to our YouTube page. Go to Equity-Alerts and click on the YouTube button, and that should be up here on the YouTube page in about 30 minutes or so. All right, that's it for me. Have a great evening. I will see you all later. Bye-bye.